right, it's a warm welcome to that program where we get to discuss and enjoy some moments with newsmakers, those people that have done something or that are doing something that is worth reckoning. And of course, you know that we always bring them right here. And today we're taking a look at a special man who has different facets of his life. But today we just want to focus on three of those areas of his life. He's a footballer. He is also somebody who is in the academic sphere, as well as an entrepreneur. So we want to take a look at those three areas of his life. And I must take this opportunity to say good day and welcome to the program to Gabriel Nyoni, all the way from South Africa in Cape Town, Umoya. Gabriel, welcome to the program.
Thank you. I hope you're okay, and greetings to the viewers.
Maybe just for those that do not know, just briefly introduce Gabriel Nyoni.
Yeah, Gabriel Nyoni is a 28-year-old, turning 29 on the 9th of September. I'm a footballer, professional footballer, currently with Cape Umoya. I played for Highlanders, Cape United, Maritzburg United here in South Africa, and currently in the books of Cape Umoya. I'm also an entrepreneur who is a Bachelor of Commerce Honors degree in marketing.
Not so many people have managed to attain the feat that you have, playing for two of the country's big clubs in Highlanders and Cape United. And not only that, managing to captain Highlanders. What did it require from you? And what would you say or tell us about your experience there?
When it comes to my football career, it required a lot of hard work, a lot of determination and tenacity. I had to go through different phases in terms of hard work. Sometimes you are disappointed a lot of times, but you just have to have that. I had to have that courage to keep on going. Especially when I was at Highlanders, I went there when I was a small boy, so I had to grow quickly into the institution because Highlanders was a big institution. So I had to grow quickly and be part of that institution. Then from there, I went to Cape United because I wanted a new challenge. Because I stayed with Highlanders for about 6 years. Then I went to Cape United I played for 6 months.
You're talking about your time at Highlanders. It's actually a time which also has your academic life also taking shape at the same time. That's when you were studying at the National University of Science and Technology, and that introducing us to your academic life, which also has its branch in terms of student leadership there. How did you manage to balance the two, education and at a tertiary level, which would require a lot, and also you are playing professional football, not just professional football, but for a very demanding team, Highlanders Football Club, with a vociferous following?
What I did was to make sure it was more about time management. I had to manage my time well because I set my goal like I wanted to get a degree, and I also wanted to play professional football. So those were my two big goals in my life. So I had to remove each and every day activities that do not link me up with my goals. So I would make sure that each and every activity that I do links me up with either me achieving my degree or me being a professional football player. So for example, I would wake up in the morning, run because I want to improve in my football career, go for training, try to do all the hard work which is needed. Then later on in the evening, I would go to school and do everything that is needed for me to attain my degree. So the more, if as a person, if you write your goals down and you write your activities on the left, you write your goals on the right, you will see that most of the activities that you do during the day do not link you up with the goals. So all those activities that do not link you up with the goals, you should remove them and remain with only the activities that link you up with the goals.
Right, we're seeing you getting that contract to go to Maritzburg. You're now in South Africa. You're also carrying your degree. Did your focus shift at that stage? Or you still maintain to say, you know what, I've got this educational side of me? And what was the objective behind it?
When I went to Maritzburg United, for me, I saw it as a stepping stone for both my football career and my education. I had a dream of starting my own organization, of starting my own business. So in South Africa, there's quite a pretty better platform for me to start with.
You were captain at Highlanders. That leadership, is it something that was always in you?
When I was in grade 7, I was the captain of my school. And then when I went to Form 1, Form 2, I was captain of Masvingo Province. Those provincial games, I was the captain of the province 3 times in a row. I was the captain at Mcheka High. Was my first high school was Mcheka High School. I was the captain there. Then I went to Form 3, Form 4. I went to Pamshana High School. I also became the captain there. Then I went for my university, National University of Science and Technology. I was also the captain there. So then you are not talking about Highlanders. I was the captain there, and so forth. Then student leadership, I was also part of the National University of Science and Technology leadership. So leadership was, I think, to me, was born inside me, and I only had to develop it to reach greater heights.
You then suffered this horrific injury while you were now playing for Cape Umoya there. And a lot of people were of the opinion that, you know what, this is it in terms of footballing career. But you remained very positive. Walk us through that period and where you are now in terms of that state.
It was heartbreaking for me because the injury was really fatal to the extent that my leg was about to be amputated. Okay, so it was a very emotional experience to me. And imagining losing my leg at this age, it was going to be something that was going to break my heart totally. So I'm grateful to God that I didn't lose my foot. So that on its own, I became grateful to the extent that I was like, God, even if I don't play football again, at least I have my foot. Okay, I can walk. I'm just a normal human being like any other human being. I don't want to hate my football career that I lost my foot because of my football career. I still want to remember the good memories of my football career. So on that note, I was grateful that at least I have my foot. Okay. Then later on, as it developed, the chances of me getting back, getting better and better and better. That's why I see, okay, I can still come back and play football. Maybe for one last year or two years. That is if all goes well, which I'm very optimistic that it will go well. Okay, so I have 6 months of rehab from now and up until December, doing rehab. I'm trying so much to come back, but if it doesn't happen by February, I'm going to the insurance doctor. He will check me up. If he sees that I can't pay anymore, then I'll get my insurance lump sum. Then I leave football forever. Maybe I'll come back as a coach because I'm planning to take the UEFA B license. So I think that is the whole process because I want to take the UEFA B license. Maybe once it's there, I'll take it.
During that period, that's when we started to see you getting into the entrepreneurial world and launching your own brand and making people smell nice. Tell us more about that and what led you to go that route, especially at a time when you were injured and we see you venturing into this third facet of that we're looking at today.
Life doesn't stop just because you are injured. Everything else doesn't stop because you are going through a rough patch. Okay, you just have to dust yourself up, get up, look for other avenues. In case this doesn't happen, you have to go this other route. Okay, I know I have a degree. Some will say that I should have looked for a job and all that, but my dreams are bigger than going to work from 5 to 8. My dreams are bigger than that. I want to own my stuff. I want to own my own organization. So from that point, there are 3 businesses I wanted to do that I've always been passionate to do. But the first one was this perfume business, whereby I discovered that a lot of people want to smell nice, want to smell, to own these designer brands, but they can't afford them because they are too expensive. Okay, so I had to find a way like how these designer brands are made. Then I made this exact fragrances, but at a cheaper price. So I made quality affordable to everyone. Then later on, I started branching into manufacturing brands for people, creating their own brands. There are a lot of people who don't know how these perfumes are made, but I have that knowledge. I researched about that knowledge. So I now create for them. Those who want me to create their brands in their name. So it's how I'm branching up and trying to grow the organization. When I partnered with Deploy Shifts, it was more to do with brand awareness, okay? To create that brand awareness so that it sticks in people's mind that if you think of perfume or you think of cologne, think of Gentos perfumes, okay? So we're just creating brand awareness. Yeah, what I can say is so far so good. With this COVID, things don't just grow from A to Z quickly, okay? There's a lot of hiccups when it comes to business trends, market trends. There's a lot that stops you, but basically what I can say, it has been growing slowly. It's been growing, and I have a projection maybe in 5 years' time it will be at a better stage actually.
Some will just know themselves to be footballers, and their focus is just football and football alone. An injury happens, and that's the end of them. Many times I hear that they are paupers, they are struggling, especially during this period of COVID. Most teams are struggling to pay, with fans not getting into stadiums. What would be a word to footballers, those that are currently active, in terms of creating different revenue streams and thinking outside the box?
You were already giving an advice in what you were just saying, because when you say think out of the box, that is the biggest advice ever given. You just have to think outside the box. The Bible says you should not put your eggs in one bucket, because if that basket falls, all the eggs are finished. Okay? You have to put your eggs in different kinds, because you don't know what will fall on you one day. For example, if I didn't have an education background and I got this injury, that was going to be it. You're done. Okay? But because I've put my eggs in different baskets, I now have certain knowledge of doing certain things. It gives you an advantage of life, because life is unpredictable. No one can predict life. So since it's unpredictable, you just have to make sure that you are doing different kinds of things that will sustain you even after football. Okay, before that, what is predictable about football is that it's short. Okay, you know very well when you are playing football that I'm playing for 10, 5 years, 15 years max. Okay, after that, there's a gap. Maybe you finish at 34, 35 years. Okay, after finishing at 34, 35 years, you live up to 80, 90, 70, 60 years, God willing. So what will you be doing in that other 40 years that you believe is the question that you should be asking yourself. Okay, the moment you ask yourself that question, it will trigger something in you that you have to find something to do as quickly as possible. Okay, you have to learn about the business while you're still playing, because the business environment after you finish playing is a very complex environment that needs you to be creative, that needs you to be innovative, that needs you to be in line with market trends at any particular given time. We have so much time when we are playing. We only train 2 hours a day. The rest of the day we will be sitting doing nothing when you're still playing football. So you have a lot of time to be preparing yourself, to be educating yourself if you want to go into business. If you want to go, there's also farming. There are different kinds of projects that as footballers we can do, but we are not doing it because of comfort zone. When you're still playing football, you're in that comfort zone. I'm relaxed, I'm cool. I'm getting my salary, I'm getting free rent, I'm getting all those things. But without knowing that later on, those things shall be taken away from you. And the moment those things are taken away from you, you will find yourself naked and you will start realizing reality. And when reality strikes, sometimes it can be too late for you to restart your life. Let's say, for example, yes, in Zimbabwe, to be honest, playing locally, you don't earn much. But the little that you are earning, for example, in Zimbabwe, some can earn $400 or less. Let's just stick with $400. If you get $400, you take $200. You start your chicken project. That chicken project, you will get your money back, the $200. But that chicken project will start sustaining itself from only $200. Understand? Because most of the times, as soccer players, we can spend that $200 drinking beer. Okay? We can spend that $200 with women. But if you had used that $200 to open a project for yourself, it could have worked wonders for you, because the project will sustain itself after you take your initial investment. Okay, what will be left for you is just to manage it one way or the other. So there are a lot of projects that we can do that can sustain us as soccer players, but we are not doing them because of comfort zone and also because of sports ego. thinking that if I do this project, what will people say? Okay, you have that force. It's better to have people to say something, but you have something in your pocket. It's useless to have a big name, but your pockets are empty.
Just three things. We highlighted the three phases, we only chose three out of your life. I want you to give me the highest moment of each, as a footballer, as an academic, as well as an entrepreneur. Your highest moments.
The highest moment when it comes to my football career is when I was signed from Cape United to Maritzburg United. That was the most defining moment of my career, because that's something I always wished for ever since I started football. You know, I was always saying to myself that I want to play outside the country. And I was always telling my then girlfriend that one day I shall play outside the country. And she couldn't believe me, because I was always saying it. So when it happened, there was a lot of people that I proved wrong, because it stemmed from when I was a small boy to that stage whereby I went now outside of the country. It was a breaking point for me. Then in terms of my education, of course, when I took my degree, that was beautiful. I was happy because I struggled. You know, I was now slim because of school football. I was, you know, there was a lot that was going on by that time. So when I took my degree, I was really, really happy.
Just one classic moment was at Barberfield Stadium after scoring a goal. And then the beast mode struck in and you ran the lab. Tell us about how you ran the lab.
At that particular moment, I was not yet a beast. I was a small boy, okay? I was a small boy. I am excited, overwhelmed. I'm playing for Highlanders, one of the biggest clubs in Zimbabwe, if not the biggest, after Dynamos. I was overwhelmed. And from university, you know, I'm coming from university, students are like, hey, this is the guy. Then imagine I'm already happy that I'm there. I'm playing for this club. I'm already happy, it's already overwhelming. Then now the same guy who's so overwhelmed scores a goal for that club. Okay? So the excitement of it just, I don't know really what happened, but I was happy. I just created a moment that made me, that actually it marketed myself one way or the other. That way. One way or the other it marketed myself. Because whenever I was going to play for other games, people were saying, where is that guy who removed his shot? Where is that guy? So people were watching the guy who removed his shot. So whenever I was playing, they would wonder, where is that guy? You see? So one way or the other, it helped me in terms of marketing. So yeah, I just removed my shot, ran around. But the funniest moment that I always remember is the moment when I was putting the shot on, back on. To me, that was the funniest moment. Whenever I remember it, I even laugh. The time I was putting them on, the excitement now is over. Now the reality is back, like, oh, what was I doing? Now I'm putting, and I'm hearing people laughing. The whole stadium, others are on the floor. My teammates are on the floor and laughing. Everyone is laughing. So at that particular time, that's when I realized, I messed up. You see, yeah. So that was the whole concept of what really happened that day.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and it's always a pleasure having a chat with you.
No, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. Anytime.
That's the discourse that we had today. Our newsmaker, Gabriel Nyoni. Let's make a date next time as we get to have a chat with somebody else.